What's up, guys? Beautiful day. It's been so hot and sunny lately, but yeah, just came back from Mid-Ohio. Well, not really. It's been a few weeks after Mid-Ohio. I've just been honestly pretty busy. Haven't really worked in the garage much. But yeah, Mid-Ohio taught me one thing, and that is that I am going to be screwed at Road America. I'm gonna get absolutely destroyed. Luke McGrew was carrying about, I think it was 8 extra miles per hour trap speed into China Beach at Mid-Ohio. 134 versus me at like 136 or 126, 127. That's a lot. And Mid-Ohio is not that long of a straight. It's pretty long. You know what's longer? Road America. And Road America has 3 of them. We're gonna be above 135 in multiple sections on the track at Road America, which means I'm gonna be screwed in this car. I'm not gonna do well if I don't change anything. So that's kind of the name of the game of this video, is to get the car ready for Road America. And that's gonna be making this car as slippery as possible, which means going back to the air dam setup, which I personally don't really like, because I think an OEM bumper with a nice fat lip on it looks so much better. But you can't deny that an air dam setup is low drag, but man, I just think they look kind of ugly sometimes, especially when you have such a beautiful bumper like that. On Miatas, the air dam bumper looks pretty cool because a lot of people do it, and I think because I'm used to it. But like, I don't know, man, on a Civic, it looks cool maybe for like a day, and then after that I'm just like, ugh, I don't really like it. But anyway, so we're gonna do a front air dam bumper setup. It's not gonna be this guy. This is what I ran last year. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. Now, here's my thinking. Because we upgraded to the massive Chase Bays radiator, as you can see here, this thing is a freaking beast. I've had to tape up the front grille every weekend since I ran that bumper because it just overcools. It overcools so much. So my theory, or my idea, is I'm gonna make a new air dam bumper. I'm gonna get new plastic, and I'm gonna make the opening for the grill so freaking small, all the air is gonna basically just go above and around the car, and very little of it is gonna go through the front radiator. And I think that with this large radiator, that tiny opening is gonna be enough to cool this thing and maintain like 190-degree water temp at Road America. So, low drag front bumper, zero out the rear wing, and then adjust the alignment accordingly. Step number 1, I'm going to remake this front air dam bumper. This was last year's setup, so I'm gonna remake it, which means I have to remake the new under tray. So enough talking to you guys, let me get to work. Okay, progress. Working on the new ducting setup. It's ridiculous, man. 3 events in, I've done basically 3 kind of duct versions, and it seems like every event I have to make a new one. I'm over it, but anyway, this is gonna be a duct setup for the air dam bumper, right? Pretty simple design. I basically just took a big piece of aluminum, bent it, it goes up into there, and then it bolts into the cross bumper. I'll take this bumper off so you get a better idea, and then I'm going to trim it based on where the air dam wants to lay, because obviously right now it's sitting past the bumper. Next step is to make the splitter. So I just visited Home Depot Racing. I got myself a fresh 4x8 sheet of 3/4 inch birch plywood. It's the best plywood you can get. Kind of a quick note on splitters. I've done a lot of different types of splitters. In the past, I've used 1/2 inch birch plywood, and I've laid fiberglass over it, like this blade right here. You can kind of see the fiberglass weaving. This is probably the best way to do a splitter. So it's like 2 layers of fiberglass on both sides. You lay the fiberglass around the edge, and then on the back side as well. They're pretty strong, they're sturdy, and most importantly, they're waterproof. The problem though is that 1, it's a lot of work. 2, it's a lot of cost and material to get the fiberglass, to get the fiberglass resin. And 3, I'm just over it. I don't want to do them anymore. I can just get 3/4 inch birch plywood, and they're basically pretty much just as strong. They might be a little bit heavier, but for my class, it doesn't really matter because it's power to weight. I have to add weight to the car anyway. One could argue, yeah, well, you don't want that much weight on the front wheels. Once again, I don't really care because the weight's really down low, and I think the corner balance on the car is already pretty good. So now all I do, just 3/4 inch birch plywood, cut it, paint it, that's it. That's basically what this splitter is right here. I'm gonna cut it large, and then I'm basically just going to use a straight edge and then just trace the splitter and then make my cut, and then bam, done. The beautiful thing about having a splitter that you didn't destroy is you can use it as a template. So real simple, all I'm going to do here is I'm gonna remove all of the mounting points. Remove that, remove that, remove this guy, remove that, remove this guy and that guy. So all of these guys, I'm gonna take them off. And then I'm gonna lay this splitter on top of that piece of wood, trace the backside, and then I'm going to use these holes as templates. And I'm gonna drill those holes into that, which means my mounting points of this splitter is gonna match that splitter exactly, which then means I can bolt that guy directly to the car and then make my outline. So once again, having a template of a splitter that you didn't destroy is extremely beneficial. So once again, I'm making sure I'm leaving myself enough room because I'm gonna cut this piece pretty wide. Help if I put the right blade on it, finish wood. All right, got most of my mounts on. Just kind of show you guys these elevator balls. They're super cool. So I put it in just enough to start the thread, and then basically all you gotta do is just drive it in. Boom, done. Same deal here. There you go, nice and smooth, and then of course we have the titanium puck over here, which goes to one of the mounts. So anyway, yeah, mounts are done. Took me what, not even 10 minutes. So now I'm gonna put it on the car, and then we're gonna trace my outline and then do a final cut. And one step closer to a finished front end version freaking 20. Man, I've lost count at this point. Let's put it on, and don't mind the oil cooler just sitting on the floor. It's gonna get mounted to the duct eventually. So it's pinned on the back side. I just use these regular kind of pins right here. And then the front is the Professional Awesome. All right. Boom, there you go. Yeah, super simple formula. Like I said back here, this is just a turnbuckle. Once again, Home Depot Racing. And yeah, I just made this simple mount. So this is pinned in here. Oops. So yeah, basically boom, that's done. We got the Professional Awesome quick disconnect mount up front. And then we have one more Professional Awesome bendy rod to kind of stabilize the side. And as you can tell, man, you can walk all over this thing. It's no freaking issue. It's sturdy. It's adjustable. right? You can adjust the height of this guy. You can use a turnbuckle back here to adjust the height there. And then of course you can change the length of these rods. Super quick to put on, no tools needed, just a bunch of pins. Boom, boom, boom. That's the best way that I've basically make my splitters. And like I said, man, the 3/4 inch birch plywood, it's super strong, it's durable. It's gonna last you forever. The only thing that's gonna kill them is water. Because they're not sealed, and if you get water on them, the wood will start to rot. But in my opinion, just make another one the next season. Or you could probably use like higher quality bed liner. That's also an option. So anyway, splitters mounted. Now all that's left is to basically trace my line, and then I'm gonna cut it, and then the air dam is gonna bolt here. I didn't really talk about this bumper. This is an EG hatch bumper. I had to modify it a little bit, but this bumper, all I really need is the top part. That's why it's all cut out. Don't really need anything down here because the air dam literally bolts to the top there. You can see the holes, and it's going to lay against the cut under tray. So let's get to that. There's a few rules that I gotta follow for this air dam. Number one, the air dam has to be vertical. And then number two, the bottom of the splitter, it's gotta be completely flat. I can't have any tunnels in it. I can't have any diffusers. It literally has to be a completely flat bottom splitter. And we have a max angle, I think of like 5 degrees. So you can angle the splitter down a little bit, but not excessively. So anyway, those are just some rules in GLTC that I have to follow with this splitter build. So, all right, got most of this done. I'm gonna continue on, trace this side, and then take the splitter off, do my cut with my jigsaw, and then start working on a replacement air dam panel. This is literally just plastic for the Speedway, so more on that later. Check out what I found at Home Depot Racing. Dude, flavored Red Bulls, sugar-free, which I've never seen these before. The only sugar-free one, I only drink sugar-free Red Bull. I love sugar-free Red Bull. I don't really like the calories of the other ones. But the flavors are cool, but I've never seen Red Bull with special flavors that are sugar-free. So that's pretty awesome, man. Home Depot Racing for the win. But anyway, put the car on the scales, on the ground. So good. Put this car on the scales, on the ground, wheels on, just so I can kind of mark where the wheel is. This straight line here is just a line that goes across the wheel. And now we're doing our tracing. So I finished the tracing. I trimmed up this metal duct a little bit, and I'm gonna do my first round, not the final cut, but I'm gonna trace this wider line just to give me enough space if I mess anything up. Yeah, looking pretty good. Pretty happy with it so far. So here's the main problem why I can't use this air dam, is because it's not long enough. It's too short. So I probably raised the car up a little bit since I ran this last, and maybe also lower the splitter, and also I have taller tires. So what I'm gonna do is make a new one, and that's where Speedway comes in to play. It's air dam plastic, comes in a roll like this. You can get it in multiple colors. White's obviously gonna be ideal for me, because I got a white car. Duh. All right, got it laid out, got some weights on to keep it flat. Got my previous air dam. Now, I'm gonna try something different this time. You can see I'm leaving a little bit more excess up top. My idea is I want the air dam to kind of travel like this and then come up here instead of be down here, just to kind of, I don't know. We're gonna try it. If I don't like it, I'll cut it off, make it straight, but let's go with that. Give myself a little excess. And the nice thing about this plastic air dam is it's super easy to cut. All you need is a straight edge and a sharp razor blade, Just do a few passes, then you can just crack it, and then yeah, done. Like I said, super freaking easy. Here we go, snow plow is done. But no, still obviously working on fitment. Just got it bolted into place here. I'm calling it a night. Pretty tired, but looking pretty good. Not bad. Continue tomorrow. I got the splitter, basically final trim on it already. The air dam, it's nice and tight. I mean, that's what you want. You don't want this thing really deflecting at all, so it's really tight. I got all the bolts drilled into it. Now I'm working on the final cutting. Oops. So what I'm trying to do now is just finish off my wheel well area. So I have a bolt here, and then like I said, the air dam goes over the flare, and then I just added a little nut and bolt there. And then on the bottom here, I have a little bit of garden edging on the splitter, held in with elevator bolts, of course, and then I just have a little push clip right here. So that keeps this bottom part on. So if I need to ever take the bumper off, it's this little clip here, undo that. I have a bolt for the bumper back here, as you can see, and then the bolts along the front, and then this whole bumper will come off. But yeah, looking pretty sweet. And I still need to cut the bottom of the air dam off, because as you can tell, it's significantly lower than the splitter still. So probably gonna cut off, I'm gonna go a little bit below the splitter, but I'll probably cut off about this much. You can see the splitter, it's cut. Got the duct cut. This is, like I said, just a little garden edging that's bolted to the edges just to clip into. And I traced the air dam underneath the splitter all the way around. That's this line you see here. So I'm probably gonna give myself about an inch, and then I'm gonna trim all the excess. And now I am doing my opening in the middle. So I was able to kind of reach my hand in there with the Sharpie and kind of mark where the duct is. So that's this screwed line, and that's where it ends there, and then ends here. So next step, take a hole saw. This guy is 76 mil. It's a little bit bigger than I want. And I'm just going to start drilling holes. That's gonna be the end, and then use a razor blade to cut the straight edges. So let's do some cutting. Air dam bumper, pretty much done, I would say. Looks pretty good. Fits really well, nice and tight against the splitter. I think I trimmed a little bit too much off of the duct, but that's okay because I can put like rubber seal, like bulb seals to kind of support it. But yeah, there you go, there's my inlet. And then now I have to do the top portion of the inlet. So it's gonna match the height of this, and then it's gonna do a nice smooth curve up to the top of the radiator. So all the air going in here, it's gonna have a nice kind of laminar flow into the radiator. I'm gonna probably add additional small ducts here because the oil cooler is underneath this guy. And then what I was thinking, I might wrap this black to mimic what the OEM bumper looks like. So it has those two very long grill openings. So I might replicate that with the wrap And then once again, do the bottom 2 openings for the oil cooler. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it looks pretty sweet. Well, I don't know. I think it looks all right. Not a huge fan of air dams, but I can make a pretty good looking air dam, I think. Looks aggressive, can't deny that, and it's low. Can't even fit my fingers. So my theory is I'm gonna leave it really long, and then I'm just gonna let it self-clear on the track. So it'll just grind away, and it'll clearance itself. So I'm gonna run it as low as possible, which is basically that. Not even an inch off the ground. And it's just gonna self-clear. I gotta add the duct, or the inlets for the oil cooler, duct the top of the radiator. I have extra ducts for the brake ducts that I'll put somewhere. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Call it a day and move on to the next project. So let's keep pushing. It's Saturday, a few days left till Road America. That was the biggest project, and now it's mostly done, so that makes me feel a lot better. So I just posted the front end on Instagram, and I got a lot of hate because, like many people that I follow, the air dam is just, you know, it's not a good look. You know, it's a cool bumper like this is way better. So I got a lot of hate on Instagram, but I only showed the picture with the circle cut out. But now I wrapped it, and dude, you can't even tell it's an air dam anymore. It looks like an OEM bumper, right? Boom, boom, boom. So I'm gonna try my best to make this look as good as possible. And I think with it wrapped like that, it looks pretty good. And then you can see the duct quite a bit, but I'm gonna have mesh, and I'm gonna spray paint it black. So the grill, the opening is going to hide itself within the black wrap. But I don't know, man, I think that looks much better. So that's mostly complete. Next up, we got some brake ducts. So like, this is what I got. I got a PowerTech 2.5-inch OD opening. This is for like vacuum hoses and stuff. And it's the same stuff I used right here. So easy way to attach brake duct hose. So I bought another pair. They're cheap. They're like 10 bucks each. So I got 2 options. Number 1, put it down here where it is on the other bumper. Kind of gives this bumper a little bit more dimension, I guess you can say. Or I could put it in this black and hide it. So I don't really know what I want to do. Down here or up here. I opted to put them, kind of hide them in the fake grill. So just 2 rivets. You see on the back side, had to trim the bumper a little bit more. So put some orange tube on there, zip tie them, or use hose clamps. Boom, so that's done. So anyway, up next, going to work on the top duct. So I have this top piece. That's just to brace it more, and then it bolts to the bottom of the crash bar. So this thing has structure now. So now I'm gonna make a piece, probably, obviously, do it to the height of the grill. So it's just gonna basically go like this, and then it's gonna swoop up to the top of the radiator. And then I'm going to make another, basically U underneath here, and then that's going to be the duct for the oil cooler. And then I still have this intake tube to deal with. So not quite sure what to do with this guy. I don't really know. Anyway, let's keep moving forward. This is the tricky part, right? So I cut my top piece. This is the part that's gonna go kind of swoop up. And the tricky part is there's obviously like an engineering way to make this curve, but I'm not gonna do that because I don't know. There's really no point. I'm just gonna wing it. And number 2, it's kind of hard. Like this material, it's not that thin. It's pretty hard to bend. So I'm gonna use, this is is a Harbor Freight bender, and I'm just gonna make small, like incremental bends, move it back, bend it, move it back, bend it, and I'm gonna try to get just a nice kind of curve, and we'll go from there, I guess. So, I wish I had one of those rollers where I can just put this into that roller and make it nice, but I don't have that, so. All right, let's test fit that. See, not bad. Shoot. It's not bad. It doesn't go to the top of the radiator. I should have made it a little longer. What I can also do is this. Let's see if that works. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. All right, so the question now is, how do I mount this to the plate? Well, I buy these guys. You can buy them on Amazon Prime, and they're basically, they're corner pieces for shelves and cabinets. And these were great to basically, boom, rivet, rivet, and boom, mounted. So I'll do 2 of them right here, and then I'll do 1 up there, 1 up there, and then done. So, and that will be at least the top part of this duct complete. Brackets riveted in place from the bottom side, smooth the airflow, pop this bad boy in. Been a long day. Still Saturday, by the way. Took a little break, had some dinner, now back on the project. So, oil cooler ducting is next, and I'm digging it so far. So I basically just took a piece of aluminum, bent it into a U, bolted it to the bottom of the oil cooler, and then I have it bolted to the top. And yeah, it's essentially perfectly sealed, and I'm gonna probably add 2 bolts here, so I'll bolt it here and here, and that'll completely not only seal the oil cooler, but it's gonna give it a lot more, you know, stiffness. It's gonna be pretty solid in there. I do have to trim a little bit more here. I kind of missed my mark. I don't want this rubbing against the aluminum. And then I'll put a little bit of foam on the side there too, just so, you know, it's not rubbing. But yeah, we are nearing completion on the front end. It always seems like it's a lot easier in your head, but once you actually start working on it, it's just a lot of time, man. Cutting aluminum, bending it, messing up, doing it again, cleaning all the edges down. It's a lot of work, but it's gonna be worth it, I think. I think it's gonna be good. Bumper is basically done. I got the main center duct for the radiator, these 2 smaller guys for the oil cooler, that'll feed the bottom there, and then I have the brake duct hoses. And yeah, that's basically it. All I'd have to do after that is take the splitter off and paint it. And I chose the quick and easy way. Look at this can. Yeah, keeps on going. It's a big can. I mean, look at it. So yeah, I'm just gonna lay down some thick paint. Don't really care too much about the splitter. And then yeah, then the last step is to take this hole off and then put some bulb seal on the back edge, because I don't have enough bulb seal to do the front, but I definitely want to do the back edge against the radiator, nice and soft, not damage the radiator or, you know, rub away on it. Pretty much done. And it looks pretty good. I like the fact that I made the grill kind of look like a sedan bumper. I think it looks pretty cool. And it hides the brake ducts really well. So I'm glad I put the brake ducts there and not below, because then you just have too many holes. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It's solid. It's really well braced on the front, so I'm proud of that. So it's really not going to deflect much. Right here we have the foam, and then on the bottom you have a little bulb seal, and then of course it's sitting on the splitter. I think it's pretty sick. And most importantly, it should be fast for Road America, and I'll probably end up running this for the rest of the season, unfortunately. So that's why I'm like double pissed, because I knew it's probably gonna stay on. Because if it's fast at Road America, you know, it's really a benefit everywhere, honestly, if you have less drag. Maybe even more downforce, because you're kind of more air is going over the car. But anyway, all I got left to do is to put the mesh on the air dam, paint the splitter, figure out what to do with the intake duct. I mean, I could put a duct here, but I don't know. Holy shit, this thing is sick. Alright, so I got a lot of these bulb seals, but I don't really have a lot of the thick stuff, which is a bummer. I got this piece, which this will come in handy probably on this side. I need the thicker stuff for this side. I don't have enough of it though. That's kind of a bummer. Got some scraps, so you can see the kind of difference in height. So this side is going against the end pan, or the end tank, and then this is going against the fin. So I want this to be nice and soft. I'm gonna lay a pretty thick piece of foam right here. Let me get that. Boom. Front end, pretty much entirely complete. Didn't really record much of it. It was just kind of finishing touches yesterday. But yeah, we got the brake ducts on, we got them fitted. We got the grill mesh on there as well. It's just held in with a little safety wire. And unfortunately, I did have to add another hole for the intake ducting. So it still looks pretty cool. The extra hole is a little awkward, but overall, I think it's gonna work really well. Front end done, alignment done, and then I wanna do some auto blip testing. So maybe I'll look into the ECU side of things later. The vehicle speed seems to be off by quite a bit, so I have to recalibrate that. And I think the vehicle speed is causing the theoretical gear position to be off, it's like bouncing back and forth. So I don't know if you've seen it in my videos, but you'll see me driving around 100 miles per hour in like third gear. It bounced like 3-4, 3-4, 3-4, 4-4-4, and then I'll shift, and then it stays at 4, then it goes, okay, 5-4, 5-4, 5-4. So I think that's causing an issue with the auto blip. So anyway, I'm gonna look into that maybe later this week. All right, doing a quick little drive around town. Car is street legal, it's a street car. But yeah, just calibrating the vehicle speed and the gear ratios, because it's something that's always been off, and it's really hard to calibrate vehicle speed because you need the laptop, and you can't really do that at a racetrack. What am I gonna be on a flying lap with my laptop in my lap, clicking calibrate? It's not gonna work. So anyway, we're just driving, kind of in the countryside, getting it up to 65, and then just calibrating it. And the goal of all of this is to hopefully get the auto blip to work. So if I can get auto blip to work around America, that'd be awesome. So we're gonna keep messing with it.